What's up? What's up?
What it do, Bing Crew? It's your boy Savon Thomas back with another episode of Coffee and Comments. And today we're going to review the documentary or movie, whatever you would call it, on Netflix called Tinder Swindler. Everybody's been talking about it. It's a very weird documentary on how this dude swindles women's money. Like he gets them to believe he's this person and takes their money. He gets these girls to buy into this lifestyle, right? And then once they start buying into this lifestyle, he starts to ask them to do things that require them to take out money. So he's living off of each time and this is me explaining the entire documentary. So if you don't want any spoilers, I'm sorry, but I'm going to spoil a little bit. But each time he meets a girl, he's already swindled another girl, right? So the money that he's living off of, right, at that point, and taking this girl out, like private jets and fancy dinners and all this other stuff, comes from a girl previous that he swindles for money from. And how he swindles them, again, he buys them nice things, and he gets them to believe that he's a son of a rich diamond person, diamond wealth or whatever, and he has all this money, so they are more inclined to believe him, right? And think, okay, well, yeah, he has money, so he can pay me back for all this stuff. And so he gives them money, like he's like, hey, here's me paying you back. He'll pay them, like he does pay them back. So he'll ask the girls to take out like crazy amounts of money, right? Like $40,000 loan, right? And then he gets more money for somewhere else, and then he pays them back over that $40,000, $100,000, so that they trust him that he's not just swindling me. He's going to get money from me, but he's going to pay me back. And then, and he pays it back more than they need, right? So they're like, oh, thank you, appreciate it. And then because he's doing that, he's giving them more money. So the people that she's borrowing from give her more credit so that he's able to now pull more money from them till it gets to a point where he pulls, $250,000, $500,000, they pull out $500,000 loans for this dude. And it's funny too, like how he gets them to pull out loans is wild. He says, my enemies are after me. I need you to get me this money ASAP. My enemies. Like who the hell are your enemies? Why are they? I'm not here to victim blame, but why are these girls falling for some of this stuff? I don't know. If you look at Twitter and everything else, everybody's like, why are people falling for this stuff? But people, I don't know. Like, what would you do? Maybe you're like, hey, my credit is bad. I never would be able to qualify for some of these loans. Maybe that's it. But this dude, I don't know, he just has a knack of picking the right women that fall for his lifestyle and his trap of getting them to fall into his lifestyle, get used to his lifestyle, and then get them to start taking out huge loans. And at the end of it, he doesn't pay them back, and they're stuck with all his debt, right? And so this happens to multiple girls, and then the one girl, Cecilia, she reaches out to the fraud department at her bank. The bank, figures out that this guy's scamming a ton of people, multiple different girls. And every single girl, every time he's getting loans from one girl, he's now picked a new girl and taking out a new girl. So while she's dealing with all that stuff, he's taking the money and the loans that he's getting from these girls and whining and dining another girl. So his enemies that, need money for is really just the girls he's taking out. Like, they're not his enemies. He's literally taking out other girls and sleeping with women and stuff like that. And so it's just interesting that the whole story. There's 3 different girls that are featured in the documentary, and all of them get scammed by this guy. And all of them at the end of it are still stuck with their dad. He does go to jail though. He goes to jail for about 18 months, I believe, but that's it. And that's on fraud. He never has to pay back these girls' debts. And I wonder why. There was a book written about this, but I guess the book didn't get enough traction, so they made a movie about it as well to get the word out about this. And I don't know if there's any legal things going to happen to him. Other than him getting bad rep, he got taken off Tinder. He was still, because the thing is, he went to jail. He got out of jail and started doing it again. And he has an Instagram, and he posts on it. I think his Instagram is private now. I actually looked it up, but he posts on his Instagram his stories, because they showed in the movie his stories, and he's still living on yachts, driving nice cars, wearing Gucci, all this other stuff. So he's getting money from somewhere. probably from the same girls, probably doing the same thing. But there's been no legal action, at least that's been awarded to them, because I guess the police don't have enough evidence to prosecute them. But they did get on for fraud one time, but double jeopardy, you can't put them in jail again for fraud. So it's just, I guess, a double jeopardy in the United States. I don't know, but it's wild how he does it. But I wouldn't say it's like one of the best things I've ever seen. I give it 7.1. Go watch it just to get some exposure for these women and their story. But other than that, I mean, I wouldn't rewatch it. It's just interesting to see people, the wild things that people are doing out there. Interesting documentary, interesting movie. Check it out, Netflix. Tinder Swindler. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Coffee and Comments.